Okay, I had a question on page 208, number 24, but I'm going to do 208, number 23. So let's change this, 208, number 23. 23 and 24 are pretty much the same, so hopefully you can follow this pattern and do 24 by yourself. So number 23 is this equation, f of x equals minus x squared plus 2x plus 5. And the question asks to sketch the graph, and whenever you're asked to sketch the graph, you need to find the vertex and the intercepts. They're really important things to have on a graph when you're sketching a graph. So let's go and try and figure out what to do here. Now, the interesting thing is there are two different equations you could use for this. You could use the standard form of a quadratic, which is in this form, or you could use an equation that we have for finding the vertex of a parabola if it's in this form. So first thing to do is look at your equation. Now, you could change this around by using complete the square and get it in that form. But you have a choice. I didn't say which method to use. So since the equation is in this form, I'm going to go right off the bat and find the vertex. And and then I also can look at this parabola and know that if this A is negative, right, less than 0, it's going to be a parabola that doesn't hold water. So our sketch should look like that type of parabola when we get done. Well, let's find the vertex. So, A is minus 1, B is 2, and C is 5. And you know that from stuff we've done before. So to find the first point of the vertex, I do minus B over 2A. So that's minus 2 over 2 times minus 1. So minus 2 over minus 2, I end up with 1. So I'm part way to finding the vertex here. I have the first point, it's 1. Now I need to find the second point. Well, if I get 1 here, this means that I do f of 1. So f of 1, following the pattern of this equation. Do you follow how I do that? So that means I have minus, then I put 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 5. Figure that out, and you get 6. So now I have the other point in the vertex, which goes there. So the vertex is 1, 6. Now, how do I find the intercepts of a parabola? Do you remember how to do that? Well, you could set it equal to 0 and solve for x. In this case, if you set that equal to 0 and try to solve for x, you realize that you can't factor it. Factoring is usually a quicker way. So since it doesn't factor, you have to use the quadratic formula. And so plugging into the quadratic formula, and I'm not going to write that down for you, you should know it by now, but it's minus b, so minus 2, plus or minus the square root of 2 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. And when you figure that out, oops, a is minus 1. When you figure that whole thing out, you should get minus 2 plus or minus 2 root 6 all over 2. Simplifying that, you should get, let's see, do I have that right? Over minus 2, right? So then I get 1 plus or minus root 6, right? So the intercepts, that's 2 intercepts, right? It's 1 minus root 6 comma 0 and 1 plus root 6 comma 0. And then to graph those, use your calculator to get a decimal approximation of these 2 points and plot your vertex and plot those 2 points, and you should come up with a nice graph. All right, so I use my calculator to get approximations of this to do the graph. So the vertex is 1, 6, so over 1 up 6, there's our vertex. Remember, it should not hold water, and let's see if these points confirm. So over 3.45, so 1, 2, 3.45, 0, and negative 1.450. So it looks like what I thought was a curve that was not going to hold water. Indeed is, and there's a quick sketch. When it says sketch, you don't have to be real accurate, but you should be able to do these now. So good luck.